Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope that we are okay. And I hope everyone's health is great. So in this session, we're going to be talking about a heart attack. And I'm also going to be talking about some of the warning signs, at least a week before it happens, some of the things that you would experience. Okay. So this is probably going to be one of my shortest and also one of my most important sessions ever. All right, because heart disease is number one killer disease in the whole world. Okay. After that comes cancer. So it's a very important topic, and it's very important that we know what we are doing. Okay, so I hope that this session, this is an information session. Okay, the plan of this session is not to replace the advice of your doctor. All right, so everything I'm saying here today is simply for information purposes. All right, and please share this with a friend. Please share this with a loved one, because it can really go a long way. Okay. So if at any point you cannot hear me, please let me know using the chat. All right. Or please let me know using the chat, or you unmute yourself and speak. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. What's a heart attack? Now, in as much as your heart, we know the job of our heart, right? To pump blood throughout the entire body system. Yes. So in as much as your heart pumps blood to different parts of your body, your heart needs blood itself. Yes. So a heart attack is a serious case when flow of blood to the heart is severely reduced or totally blocked. So your heart itself is no longer receiving blood just as every other part of your body. Okay. And when your heart's not receiving blood, it starts to decrease in its function. It becomes less efficient. Okay. Now, if this blockage, whether it's a reduced blockage or whether it's a total blockage, if this happens for 10 minutes, that person's heart can fail, which means that after the heart attack is over, after the person has gotten medical assistance, it means that that person's heart would no longer be 100%. Okay. If this blockage happens for just 10 minutes. All right. And if this happens for 30 minutes, then it can lead to a permanent damage to the heart. Okay. So there are, or should I say, this is a serious case because your heart is always active, right? When you are sleeping, when you are awake, it is what powers your brain, your kidneys, your liver, everything. Okay, so if the pump stops working or if the pump goes bad, you best believe that every other important organ in your body is going to be affected. Yes. So let's talk about some of the types of heart attacks. Okay, what is going to cause someone to have a heart attack in the first place? All right, so the first kind of heart attack is what we call a heart attack that is due to coronary artery disease. Okay, now this makes up for 95% of all heart attacks. Okay, and this also kills people the fastest and also kills people majority of the time. Okay, now with a coronary artery disease, the quality of your heart is impaired, but recovery is not impossible. So if someone has a heart attack due to this coronary artery disease, they can definitely recover. However, they may experience a heart failure. Now, what's a coronary artery disease? I want you to recall the first time we met, the first time we had our hypertension webinar, okay? And our focus was plaque development, okay? So I want you to look at this diagram of the heart, and I hope that you can also follow my pointer, my blue pointer, okay? So this these valves, or should I say these arteries, that's what they are called, they supply blood to and from your body. Okay, so some of them would bring blood into the heart and some of them would take blood out of the heart. Okay, now you can see this tiny little artery here that's kind of surrounding the heart, right? This is what we call our coronary artery. Okay, now this is a particular blood vessel that would supply your heart itself with blood. All right, now what happens if if I magnify this image to see what is happening here in this part of the artery that is darkening? This is what is going on. So we have plaque buildup, this yellowish substance, in other words called cholesterol, right? So we have this plaque build up here, okay? And as you can see, because of this plaque build up, blood cells, red blood cells, kind of stick to this plaque as they are passing. And over time, it results in what we call a blood clot. Now, other red blood cells are unable to pass through this artery, right, to supply the heart with blood. Okay, so there is either a reduced or a total blockage due to plaque. All right, so this is what is happening. So a heart attack doesn't just happen to you. Usually heart attacks come when the person must have been suffering from a heart disease, okay, which is basically the slow development of this plaque buildup in the heart, where blood is getting through, but blood is not getting through as much as it should. And it is reducing oxygen to the heart, and it's also reducing nutrients to the heart that the heart needs to power up, okay? So when someone has been suffering from a heart disease, that is what leads into a heart attack, okay? And this is what we are talking about, this coronary artery disease, this coronary artery, the disease of this coronary artery, which is basically due to the development of plaque in that artery, okay? To the point where blood is unable to pass through that particular blood vessel, okay? Due to either a blood clot or plaque formation. All right, so this makes up 95% of all heart attacks, and it also kills people the most and the fastest as well. Okay, now the next thing is what we call a coronary artery spasm. Now this makes up for just 5% of all heart attacks worldwide. Okay, and a coronary artery spasm is a severe squeezing of the blood vessel that's not blocked. Okay, so sometimes it could be because of a tear in that coronary artery. All right, sometimes it can be because of infections, viral infections like COVID-19. Okay, and other times it is due to tobacco use and because of smoking. All right, so when you take in those dangerous ingredients that are found in cigarettes, and you smoke, and you take in Indian hemp and tobacco and all those things, it can lead to the early hardening of your blood vessel. Because remember, I said during the first time we met that your blood vessel is elastic, and the reason it's elastic is so that it can push blood, forward. Okay, there are certain valves in your arteries and in your veins as well that help to push blood through that particular artery. Okay, so when you smoke or when you make use of tobacco, there can be an early hardening of that blood vessel. Okay, and at some point there is going to be a severe squeezing of that blood vessel. That is, your coronary artery is going to try its hardest to push blood in a very severe way. Okay, especially when it has been hardening for a long time and it's trying to just push blood through, and then it does so forcefully, that can lead to a heart attack. Okay, so this coronary artery spasm makes up 5% of all heart attacks. All right, and it's not just smoking and tobacco use, but some infections also can lead to this, and a medical emergency, which is a tear in your artery. Okay, so what are some of these warning signs of heart attacks? Usually heart attack symptoms would present themselves to you. Some people it's days, some people it's even weeks, some people it's months before they ever suffer from a heart attack itself. So your body would always give you some warning signs, okay? So let's talk about those warning signs right now, okay? But before I do that, I'd like to get feedback from you. Do we understand everything that I have said so far concerning what a heart attack is and the different types of heart attacks? Are we together? Can you hear me? I would like to get some feedback from you, please. Do we understand everything I've said so far? Please use the chat to let me know, okay? Okay, thank you, Mr. James. So let's move on to discuss some of the warning signs of heart attacks that would happen, okay? Days, weeks, and months before they actually happen. Okay, I'm not muted. I don't think I'm muted. My microphone is on. All right, so the first and the most common warning sign that your body is going to give you is a chest pain, okay? Now, many people already suffer from chest pains, but what is different with this is it's going to feel like an elephant is sitting on your chest. You can imagine how that would be, okay? So it's a very great and severe kind of chest pain, all right? Now, sometimes it's going to come and go, okay? And other times when your heart attack is near, then it's going to be more frequent, okay? So when this chest pain doesn't go away with rest and it's becoming frequent, okay, you know that that's a warning sign of a heart attack, all right? And this can happen the center of your chest as well as to the left of your chest, okay? So please look out for severe chest pains and chest discomforts. Don't overlook this kind of chest pain, okay? If it feels like there is just something really heavy on your heart, okay? Or it's like an elephant sitting on your chest, all right? Now, the second warning sign is tingling in our body parts. Now, usually when a heart attack comes, the symptoms are not just going to be in your chest or around your heart, okay? So there's going to be tingling, numbness, discomfort around your body. So we have some major parts of the body that's this tingling or numbness or discomfort is going to take place, okay? So the first thing is your arms. You're going to feel that in your arms, okay? Not your fingers, your arms, okay? And it can be in one arm or the other arm. You're also going to feel them in your jaw, your back, as well as your stomach, okay? So, like I said, some people actually experience these kind of things already. However, most people who are hypertensive, your tingling and numbness is as a result of side effects of your antihypertensive medications. So please don't ignore them if they are not normal for you, okay? That is if they are not from your medications, okay? Especially when they don't go away in a few minutes and they are also starting to get severe and they are also lasting very long, all right? So those are the ways that you would know that this tingling is not normal. All tinglings and numbness and discomfort in any part of your body should not be considered as normal. But as a hypertensive patient, your medications do come with their side effects, okay? So please don't ignore them if they are not normal for you, if they don't go away in a few minutes, if they are severe, if they are intense, excessive, and they also last very long, okay? So chest pain, and tingling in your body parts. Your heart attack is not just going to show itself in just your chest, okay? Most of the time it's going to spread throughout your entire body, okay? So number 3, we have cold sweats. Now, this kind of cold sweats happens when you are both hot and cold at the same time, or you are feeling very cold when the weather is not even cold at all. Okay, and majority of the time it will happen on your forehead. All right, so these cold sweats, your body temperature is not right. Okay, that's simply what they are. Your body temperature is either skyrocketing or either going very, very low. Okay, and it would result to you having these cold sweats on your forehead. So that's one of the very, very visible signs that a heart attack is coming. Okay. Another thing is nausea and indigestion. So remember I said that when a heart attack is coming, the signs are going to spread around your body system, right? And this can also spread to your stomach as well. And many of the times when it spreads to your stomach, some people will get nauseous. Some people would actually start to vomit. Okay, and this is more common with women. So women are going to experience this nausea and indigestion more than a man would. Okay, so keep this in mind. Your heart attack signs can appear in your stomach as well. Okay, and number 5, we have shortness of breath. So all of a sudden you feel like you cannot breathe. Okay, at different times of your day, you feel like there's just no air, there's no oxygen in the air anymore. Okay, and it's going to happen very, very suddenly. You would feel like you are just out of breath. Okay, and many times this shortness of breath accompanies chest discomfort. So some people, when you are having that kind of chest discomfort I spoke about, where it feels like there's an elephant sitting on your chest, okay, it's usually going to come with shortness of breath. Okay, so anytime that you feel like you are unable to breathe or your respiratory tract is just blocked, you can't get in air no matter how hard you try, okay, please don't overlook that sign. All right. Now, another thing is heart palpitations. And I know that many of us as hypertensive patients complain about heart palpitations. Okay. So with heart palpitations, when they are linked to a heart attack, it's kind of like your heart is pounding. Okay. And when it's very uncommon for you. So if it happens way frequently and also more severe, and it also lasts longer than usual, that is if you experience these heart palpitations already, okay, then you know that something is not right somewhere, okay? And number 7, we have dizziness and lightheadedness, okay? So when you get up or when you want to walk or even when you are lying down, you feel like your head is just spinning in circles. You know how as kids, many of us would have probably done merry-go-round where you would hold your friend's arm and then you form a circle and all of you would start running round and round and round and round and everybody falls down, right? That's how it's going to seem for you. You get so dizzy, you would feel like you want to faint or you want to pass out, okay? Lightheadedness and dizziness also accompanies nausea, okay? Vomiting, all right? And this is more common with women than it is for men, okay? So please look out for dizziness and lightheadedness, okay? Dizziness and lightheadedness usually is not common for a lot of people. So when they come and when they are very severe and they don't go away when you are resting, then you know that's not a good sign, okay? And number 8, we have sudden fatigue or overwhelming tiredness. So usually if you are a bubbly person, if you wake up in the morning and you are up and ready to go, and all of a sudden you can't even seem to walk up the stairs anymore, okay? Sudden and overwhelming tiredness. You just feel so weak and it happens very suddenly, okay? There will be no change in your routine. Everything looks like it's fine and all of a sudden you can't even get up anymore, okay? So please look out for this one because sometimes it will go and come. Okay, so please look out for it. If you ever feel so tired to the point where you can't even get around, or should I say get about your day anymore, it's not something that you should push aside. Okay, because this warning sign, it's not going to be constant. Many people who have heart attacks usually experience this kind of sudden fatigues many of the time, even months before they suffer a heart attack, but they don't think anything about it. They just think, oh, I'm just tired. That's all. Okay, so when you notice that you are getting so overwhelmingly tired and so weak many of the time, then you know that this is not good for you. Okay, so sudden and extreme fatigue is also one of the warning signs that your body would give you. Okay, so I hope that we are together. Now, like I said, if you heard me well, I mentioned that, should I say, in some of the warning signs, I mentioned that women would experience them more than a man would. Okay, so yes, women and diabetic patients can have what we call atypical symptoms. That is, your symptoms are not as typical, or should I say, they are not, we don't usually attach them to a heart attack. Okay, so some of the most common ones are nausea and vomiting, jaw, neck, or back pain, squeezing chest pain, and shortness of breath. Okay, so other things that include like fainting, indigestion, you feeling like, indigestion, extreme fatigue. Okay, all these things can, when a woman or a diabetic patient has them, we do not link them to heart attacks right away because they are not one of the common warning signs of heart attacks. But it's very possible that if a woman or a diabetic patient has these symptoms, they would actually experience a heart attack if they are a patient that is at risk. Okay, and I'm going to get into the risk factors. All right, but what I'm trying to say is a woman or a diabetic patient can have these kind of side effects that would usually not lead to a heart attack, but because of their gender and also diabetes, it would actually lead to a heart attack. Okay, so women may experience less obvious warning signs. Okay, and these are some of the most common warning signs. So number one, that's the first thing you should look out for: pain or discomfort in your chest. Then you try and look out for lightheadedness, nausea, vomiting. Okay, and then you try to figure out if your chest pain is spreading to your jaw, your neck, your back, your arms. Okay, so discomfort or pain in your arm or your shoulder. Okay, and lastly, shortness of breath. All right, so these are the most common warning signs that you should look out for. So if you ever see anyone suffering from any of these things all at once, or they just come and go, they just show themselves a little bit and then they go, please get that person to the hospital for a checkup. Okay, and you yourself, if you ever experience any or more of these symptoms together, or they just come on and off, you should also get to the hospital too. Okay, now I mentioned earlier that many of us actually struggle from one or two of these things, but we have not suffered heart attacks yet. So why are we suffering from them? It's simply because we are at risk for a heart attack. Okay, so your age is one of these determining factors, okay, or one of these risk factors. So men that are above age 45 and women that are above age 55, okay, they are likely to suffer from heart attacks if they meet up to 3 or 4 or more of these risk factors that I'm going to mention here. Okay, so the second one is tobacco use, smoking, which we have heard many times that it's not good for us. And if you are smoking, I would advise you to stop. Okay, high blood pressure is one of those things, especially when your high blood pressure is not secondary. That means that your high blood pressure is primary, which means that your high blood pressure is as a result of your improper dieting and lifestyle choices. Okay, that's one of those risk factors. Because remember that this heart attack, first off, comes from a heart disease. And what causes a heart disease 95% of the time is plaque formation, okay? And that is what increases blood pressure, okay? So you can see that being a hypertensive patient puts you at risk for a heart attack, okay? The next thing is high cholesterol. So people who have very high levels of bad cholesterol are also at risk. People who suffer from metabolic syndrome, okay? Now, metabolic syndrome is a combination of three things. Somebody has pot belly, that is abdominal obesity, okay? So the person has pot belly, the person has high blood pressure, the person has high cholesterol, and also has high blood sugar. So when the person has 3 or 4 of these conditions combined, we say that that person is suffering from what we call metabolic syndrome. And 80% of the time, if you can get rid of that pot belly, the other problems are solved, okay? So someone having a pot belly that is also hypertensive and also has high cholesterol and also high blood sugar, that person is 2 times at risk to suffer from a heart attack, okay? So it's very, very important. And like I said, if you can reduce your pot belly, the other things will just fall in place, okay? Another risk factor that we have is obesity as well as diabetes, and also a family history of heart attack or a family history of heart diseases, okay? Now, what is going to cause you to have a family history of heart attack and heart diseases? It's quite simple. Your heart attack comes from a heart disease that has been building up for a while, okay? Heart attack doesn't just happen. It's as a result of a heart disease. And what is going to cause someone to have a heart disease is because of that plaque formation. And what causes that plaque formation is improper dieting and lifestyle choices, right? So if you have a family history of heart diseases, it means that you also have a family history of improper dieting and lifestyle choices, right? So you now have to break that cycle, because it's not just about your genes. Yes, your genes can definitely play a role, okay? Your genes can definitely play a role. If I get a patient that doesn't have any genetic chances of being a hypertensive patient or struggling with heart disease, and I get someone who would have that chance of, a genetic makeup causing the issue, the person that does not have a genetic makeup has like 100% body capacity, right? And the person who has that genetic makeup has like 60%. So it means that the remaining 40%, you can actually do something about it, right? So I'm trying to help you understand that when we say family history, it's not because it's not because you cannot do anything about it. It's because the way your parents ate, they got their eating habits from their grandparents, who also got their own eating habits from their own grandparents or parents. So it's kind of like nobody really knows how to fix these things. And then we say that high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, it all runs in the family. Usually, most of the time, it doesn't run in the family. It's simply you passing on your unhealthy habits down to your children, and your children passing it down to their children as well. Okay, so your family history of heart attacks, yes, your genes can cause them, but your genes are never 100% the reason why anyone would suffer from cardiovascular diseases in the first place. Okay, so family history of heart attacks and heart diseases. Please do your best to stop that cycle. Okay, at least now you are getting informed about it. So please do your best to stop that and pass on healthy eating habits. Many of the times, it's not just that you are not eating sugar or you are not taking soft drink, or you are not taking flour or salt, etc. No. Many of the times, these things can come even from the foods we eat, majorly carbohydrate foods that we eat a lot in Nigeria. So it's not like you are eating unhealthy or that you are going into sweetened foods or sugary foods or high salty foods or high fried foods. It's just because you are not eating properly, okay? So please do your best to break that cycle so that your children can pass on healthy eating habits into their own children's lives, and they wouldn't be told that there is a family history of cardiovascular diseases, and then somebody would feel hopeless that they are unable to treat themselves. Okay, so I hope that we get what I'm trying to pass across. All right. Another risk factor is not getting in enough exercise and also improper habits, and chronic use of medications like your birth control, like your hormone medications, like steroids, over-the-counter medications. Those of you that taking Panadol a lot, anytime you have a slight headache, you just pop Panadol. Okay, please, all these medications have some form of impact on your body system. Okay, so they can also put you at risk. So what can we do now that we know all these things? Okay, the first thing we have to do is to have a heart-healthy diet. And I know that dieting is not easy, so that's why you have your wellness supplements to help you take care of everything that would be lacking, as well as begin that healing process for you by giving you a very good source of antioxidants, healthy fats to help you regenerate new cells, as well as very good vitamins and minerals. Okay. Now, you should also get at least 30 to 60 minutes of physical activity every single day. Okay. I've said it before that my mom, she moves around a lot and she's not hypertensive. The person that is hypertensive is my dad, who lives a more sedentary lifestyle. Okay. So your exercise plays a major role. Please get 30 to 60 minutes of physical activity every single day. Okay. Now, the next thing is you also have to go for regular checkups at the clinic if you are a diabetic patient or a hypertensive patient, etc. Okay, if you fit into any of these categories of risk factors, then you should try to get regular checkups at the clinic. Okay, now please get quality sleep. Please also reduce your stress. And for your sleep and giving you more energy to take on the stress of Nigeria's economy, the Wellness Pack can also help you with that. Okay, and also what I said about your metabolic syndrome, please try to maintain a healthy weight and also reduce your pot belly. Okay, if you are struggling with pot belly. All right. So I'd love to get some feedback from you. We are actually done. That's all I have for you today. So I'd like to take some questions now. And also let me get some feedback from you. And I also have some announcements to make. Okay. But before I go on with my announcements, I'd like to hear from you. Do you feel like I did justice to this topic? Do you have any questions for me? I'd like to get some feedback from you, please. So that's all the slides that I have for you. And I would like to know if you have some questions for me. And if you don't have questions, I'd like to get feedback on this session. Okay. And after that, I will move on to some of the announcements that I have for you. So please let me know using the chat. I would be waiting. Okay. And if you don't have any comments, just say no comments. Okay, how do you get rid of belly fat? I have spoken on this topic before on abdominal obesity and high blood pressure. But if I'm to summarize everything, the first thing you need to do is to cut down things like your soft drinks, sugary foods, salt as well, okay? And then you have to incorporate physical activity, all right? And you also have to start adopting a healthier diet, okay? Also, things like fasting can help you, okay? Try and reduce the fat. Because with pot belly, there are a lot of organs, where, yeah, there are a lot of organs in your abdominal cavity, okay? And with pot belly, it's not like regular normal fat. the fat is actually surrounding all those organs, like your kidneys, your liver, your stomach, your intestines. Like the fat is in between all these organs. Okay, that's what makes it very bad. All right, so exercise, physical activity, you need a modification of your diet as well. And fasting can also help with that too. All right. And you also really need to cut down on soft drinks and excessively fried foods, or foods that are fried using the same kind of oil. Okay, that is, you use the same oil to fry over and over and over again. Things like street food, like you know how they fry puff out in the streets. They use the same oil they used last week, etc. Okay. What type of exercise would I recommend for a 60 plus? The best form of exercise I would give to you is to simply walk around. If you can walk for 30 minutes every day, maybe it's in the evening, you can just go out. Maybe in the evening, you can just go out, or very early in the morning, you can go out, move around your estate. That would help. Okay. So I wouldn't recommend rigorous or intense exercise for a 60 plus. Okay. Any more questions, please? Okay, Mr. Susan says, when I try to fast, I get sick. What can I do? How long do you fast for, sir? And also, do you try to replace your fast with your fasting periods? Do you try to take liquids to help you? Do you take enough water? And also, during what times do you fast? That's also important. Okay, so those questions need to be answered. Okay, morning to 12 p.m. is not bad. So do you take enough water during this fasting period? Okay. So Mr. Tosin, I'd recommend that you take enough water. Okay. But then also water with electrolytes too. And I don't want to say maybe, okay, you can use lime water. Okay, that would be very good. All right. So if you can take enough water with lime or lemon in your water, that would be very good with keeping your energy up. Okay. And helping your nerves also, your nerves, help them stay active so that you don't feel dizzy or fall sick. Okay. And you can also try reducing your times that you fast as well. So maybe you don't want to do morning to 12 p.m. Maybe you can actually have your breakfast, but you don't take any in between meals. Okay. You just have your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. You don't take in any not ridiculous, but any in between meals. Okay. Like snacks, you just want to, eat something. Okay. Try to reduce that as well. Because the thing about fasting is just giving your body enough time to break down food, okay? And also helping your body to make use of its stored fats. So if you can also reduce how much you eat in between your meals, that would actually go a very long way for you, instead of trying to maintain your morning to 12 p.m. and then you fall sick, okay? Or you just fast from morning to 12 p.m. and then, from 12 p.m. down to 7 p.m., you are eating every hour of the day. Okay. So I hope that helps you. Okay. Okay. I'm waiting for more questions, please. Okay, I see more questions. Am I recommending dry fasting or regular fasting? I wouldn't recommend dry fasting or long-term fasting. Okay, so regular fasting, I'll go with regular fasting. Okay. But the kind of fasting I would really recommend is intermittent fasting. Okay. How can one get rid of protein plus in the body? What do you mean by protein plus? Do you mean excess protein, Mr. Olusegun? I'd like to know what protein plus is. Okay, so you mean okay. All right. So the first thing I would say is your salt intake. Okay. And also foods that would raise your blood sugar. All right. Take note of that as well. I'd recommend that you also take in more fiber so that you can be more satiated. Okay. And you wouldn't feel hungry majority of the time to eat. All right. So high fiber foods like your leafy green vegetables. In other words, your ugu leaves, your lettuce, etc. Okay. And the other part would be to try to maintain a low protein diet, although protein is very good for you. Okay. So as much as you can, if you can, then you reduce how much protein you take in. The body actually does a very good job in breaking down protein. It doesn't store protein as it does to carbohydrates. Okay, so if your kidneys are working very fine and your liver as well, your body would do a very good job with excreting excess protein. Okay, but however, if you want to be cautious about it, first things are your salt intake, then also watch your blood sugar, eat more fiber foods. Okay, foods that are high in fiber, like your nuts and seeds, your leafy green vegetables. Okay, and then your protein intake from your regular meals, try to reduce them. I wouldn't recommend that you completely eliminate protein because it's actually very, very good for you. Okay, so I hope that helps, Mr. Olusegun. All right, any more questions, please? And can I move on with what I have for you? Because I have some announcements. Okay. All right. So the first announcement that I have for you is our price updates. Okay. So we are going to be having a price increase starting October 1st, which is 2 days from today on Saturday. Right? Sunday. Yes, Sunday. So wellness is not going to be 39,990 anymore. It's going to be 46,990 per pack. Okay. And the reason is simply because of Nigeria's economy and the dollar rate keeps rising and our products are imported. Okay. So we have to meet up to that dollar rate so that we don't decrease the efficacy of the pack. Okay. If we leave the price at 39,990, then we would have to take out some important things that would match that price. Okay. So I sincerely apologize for the inconveniences that this would cause you, but wellness would no longer be 39,990. And I pray that Nigeria truly does get better so that the citizens can breathe. Okay. However, I would maintain your free delivery on every pack that you order every single time that you order. And our delivery prices are also going to be increasing as well. but I will take care of all of your delivery fees, okay? Every time that you shop a wellness pack, okay? Now, some other new developments that I have is the introduction of a 30-day blood pressure lowering challenge, okay? Now, with the new price of wellness, I have been thinking a lot about it, and not just the price of the pack, but I have also been thinking of how best I can help you going further. And from the webinar up until this point, we have been focusing majorly on your diet in regards to hypertension, okay? And I have been doing a lot of work, a lot of research on this, how we can reduce our blood pressure in a more holistic way. Okay, instead of just focusing on our diet, we focus on other things that are also very impactful to your blood pressure. Okay, so I am thinking of putting together a 30-day or a 30 days to a lower blood pressure challenge. And it would focus on a more holistic approach to lowering blood pressure. Okay, and in this 30-day challenge, you're actually going to be going very, very in depth. Okay, we are going to spend a few days on some certain topics, and on other days, we'll spend fewer days on those topics. Okay, so the purpose of this is, one, I know that even without this price increase, a lot of people find it difficult to purchase the wellness pack and also to maintain using the wellness pack for the recommended number of weeks. Okay, so I decided that it would be very great in order not to, or should I say, in order not to deprive people, okay, or deprive you of helping you reduce your blood pressure. I think it's a good idea that I put together a 30-day challenge, okay, and make it quite affordable so that those who can get in can get in. And I would not just focus on your food, but other things that, you know, play a role when it comes to your blood pressure. So let's look at some of these highlights. The first thing I'm going to talk about is your nutrition, because like I said, starting from the webinar, it all starts from your nutrition, okay? So I will talk about nutrition for about a week, okay? We are going to talk about specifically some nutrients that you need when it comes to blood pressure lowering, okay? So like your potassium, your magnesium, your chromium, your calcium, all these nutrients, we have some specific ones that are very important that you get in. Okay, so I will talk about them as well as the foods that you can get these nutrients from. Okay, now, however, you cannot eat it all. Okay, you really cannot eat it all. So that's why your wellness supplements are there to help you. Okay, I would also dive in depth with reducing your blood pressure using fasting. Okay, and I'm also going to talk about things like, am I hungry or do I not have appetite? What about caffeine? Does caffeine raise my blood pressure? How much caffeine should I take in? What about alcohol? Can I take sugary or sweetened foods? What about soft drinks? What if I take them once in a month? Water intake too, very important. Many of us are not meeting up to our daily water requirements. Yes. And also I'll talk about some dietary contamination like lead, mercury, arsenic that are found in rice, your fish. All these things are kind of important because when they are trying to preserve foods and when they are trying to prevent infections of foods by using pesticides, all these toxins kind of get attached to our food. So we also have to talk about how we can get rid of them. Okay, so I would also focus on dietary contamination in this 30-day class, and our nutrition is going to take about a week, okay, for us to cover how should you properly prepare your meals, how should you wash your vegetables, you know, different tiny details like this, things around your kitchen that will cause you to be hypertensive, having a cancer-free kitchen, okay, if I should say. All right, so all these small, tiny details, I'm going to incorporate them into the class, okay? And the next thing is lowering your blood pressure with exercise. What kind of exercise should I do? How often should I exercise? What times of the day should I exercise? The mode of exercise as well. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about lowering your BP with exercise and how you can exercise. And the other thing again is rest. So sleep is one of the major things concerning high blood pressure. All right, so we're going to talk about sleep apnea as well, which is a condition where people stop breathing when they are asleep. And surprisingly, sleep apnea and improper breathing while you are sleeping is actually a cause of high blood pressure on its own. That is, somebody can actually have a very amazing diet, exercise properly, and because of sleep apnea or not knowing how to sleep well or not getting in a lot of sleep, they can develop high blood pressure. So it's also a very important topic, or should I say subtopic. Okay, and I would also include things like boosting your melatonin, which is a hormone that helps you sleep better at night naturally. Okay, your environment too also matters, like your air, how much sunshine do you get, even road traffic. I found out actually that traffic, you listening to the noise, the hectic. In fact, if you live in Lagos, you would understand what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, I found out that you actually having or going through that stress of listening to that daily road traffic can cause somebody to be hypertensive. Can you imagine that? So it's one of the things that I also want to go in depth and in detail about. Okay, so your environment and how it plays a role to your blood pressure. And then your breathing methods as well, breathing techniques and how you can use breathing to control your blood pressure. Okay, and then I'll talk about things like stress, how you can reduce your stress, how to reduce how much tension you go through, how much anxiety you go through, and its relationship to high blood pressure. And definitely we're going to be using supplements. You're going to need supplements on this 30-day journey. Okay, so I would advise you, if you can, so please get your wellness pack. Okay, I would definitely put up a more detailed information about this 30-day class and what you would be required to get in order for you to be a part of the class. Okay, but I'm letting you know now that your supplements are very, very necessary. And if you can't afford them, you should get them, because there is a high chance that people who are on the supplements will have more results. Okay, because your supplements just accelerate your treatments. All right. And we're going to talk about over-the-counter medications, those of us that take in pain relievers, steroids, pills, Panadol, okay, their relationships to your blood pressure. All right. I'm also going to talk about your spirituality, meditation, and its relationship to hypertension. And also one of the key things I plan for this community to have is social support. Okay, so you know that everybody in the group with you has the same goal as you, and we can also decide to engage in fun activities. Maybe we can go on a water detox challenge. Maybe we can just think of very creative exercises that we can go through together as a group. And maybe I would give rewards to people who are very, to people who are very active and people who also take the class seriously, so that we can keep everything fun as we are trying to go through the 30-day class. Okay, so this 30-day class is actually majorly giving you a holistic approach to your blood pressure management. Okay, I lost my screen. I'm not seeing my screen anymore. Okay. Now, there's also going to be something called the Members Club, okay? Now, the Members Club is for people who love the Wellness Pack and people who want to continue using the Wellness Pack, okay? Now, this is a special club that I have benefits for. And for people to be a part of this club, they need to, first off, you should have bought wellness from me at least 3 times. And you are simply a wellness lover, you love the pack, you love the supplements, and you want to keep buying them, okay? So those who are a part of the Members Club have to buy wellness at least once every 3 months, okay? Now, part of the benefits of being in this club is the ebooks that I have currently and the ones that I would create in the months and years to come. Those who are part of the members club have my ebooks and my programs free of charge. So things like this 30-day challenge that I would be introducing to us very soon, members of the Wellness Club have access to such programs for free. And members of the Wellness Club have access to subsequent programs that I will put together also for free. Now, because you are a wellness lover and you want to use the wellness pack, or you love the wellness pack and you get the wellness pack often, you have a lifetime 10% discount on the wellness pack every time that you shop, in addition to your free delivery. Okay. Now, with the members club, you are going to have a constant coaching program. So with the 30-day plan, it's just for 30 days. But with the wellness members club, it's a continuous coaching program. We can have a 12-week program. We can decide to have a 60-day program, and we can just rinse and repeat so that everybody gets to experience the subtopics of the different programs at their different times based on your work schedule. Okay, so instead of just having the 30-day program, it's kind of like a continuous coaching program. And I would also come up with different challenges that would help you progress with your health. Okay, so those are the benefits of being a part of the members club. And I will definitely have rewards as well, and different challenges that we can embark on together as a team or as a club. Okay, and also you have that social support. Okay, so this club is for people who love the wellness pack. Okay, people who are consistently buying wellness. I have a few clients that are like that always shop. This wellness club is for you. Okay, and you have a 10% discount every single time that you shop. And you also have access to my ebooks and other programs I will come up with for free, okay, by being a member of the club. All right, so that's all I have for you today. The members club is a special club, but what I really wanted to get your feedback on is about our 30-day class. So do you think that this is a good, do you think that you need this 30-day class challenge? Because I just wanted to share it with you. I'm not launching it yet, but I wanted to introduce it to you today so that I can get your feedback on it. How do you feel about it? I'd love to hear from you. Does anyone have any comments on the 30-day class? Please let me know. Do you have any questions concerning it? Please let me know. I would really like to get your feedback, okay? And if there are no comments, then we can simply end the session because I am done. Okay, if there are no extra comments or questions, then we can simply conclude. Okay. Mr. Tunde, may God bless you too. But I'd really like to hear from you concerning the class. Okay. Mr. Oshovu, you're always concerned about my education, and I appreciate you for that. You're just like my dad. But I can assure you, I wouldn't do anything that would jeopardize my education. I prioritize it way higher than every other thing that I do. Okay. So I wouldn't bring it up if I cannot handle it. Yes. So thank you so much for caring. And also thank you for your feedback. I appreciate it. Okay. Mr. James, welcome today. Okay, I think it's actually a very good idea. And I think that it would actually be very helpful to a lot of people who want to progress, but they are simply financially unable to. Okay, financially unable to. That's one of the reasons. And also a holistic approach to lowering your blood pressure. So it's not just with the supplements anymore, but other key areas of your life that contributes to you still being a hypertensive patient. Okay. Okay. For commencement dates, first off, I would need the coming week to introduce us properly to the class. Okay, and also give us some more information about the class. Okay. Then I would open up registrations for the next week. Okay, so we would have a week for registration so that everybody can get ready and join in the class. Because once we start the 30-day challenge, there wouldn't be any additions. Okay, so that everybody can start on the same pace and also finish on the same pace, right? So that is 2 weeks, right? So I'm thinking we can start on the 16th of October and we can conclude on the 14th of November. Okay, so this is just, this is what I want to work with. However, it is quite tentative. So first off, I would need to introduce everyone to the 30-day idea because it's not everyone that's here. And after that, I would open up the slots and people can start joining in. Okay. I can't see my screen anymore. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, sir. I really wanted to bring it up here so that I can hear from everyone. Okay. But I will definitely talk about it in more detail so that even those that are not here can know what is coming. Okay. So I think I've answered your question, sir. Okay. Any other question? Any other comments, thoughts? Comments, thoughts, feedback, questions? And if there are no more, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your presence each and every time. And I look forward to speaking with you again. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. And thank you to everyone that joined me live. Okay. So take care, everyone. Please take care of yourself. I will talk to you at a later time. Okay. Bye.